Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kingston Heath for tonight's sixth round Nike FC Club clash between Bayside United and Heidelberg United. My name is William Bennett, and I'll bring you all the action for tonight across MPL TV as well as on Football Tour's Facebook platform. So for all our viewers who are listening via the Facebook option, do feel free to leave a message and we'll try and read out your thoughts throughout the match. Otherwise, tonight is not our only fixture in the sixth round of the Nike FC Cup, with Bulleen vs Alamein kicking off in half an hour from 8 p.m. Anyway, without further ado, get into the lineups, beginning with the visitors. We have number 1, Lisa Maisels. Number 3, Maxine DeBlacy. Number 4, Danielle Wise. Number 6, Felicity Georgopoulos. Number 8, Catherine Valoropoulos. Number 10, Rebecca Burrows. Number 11, Sophie Papilia. Number 18, Eve Tikitakis. Number 22, Ellen Parbury. Number 23, Grace Joel. And number 25, Mia Giorgio. As for your starting 11 for the home side in Bayside United, we have number 2, Neva Claw. Number 5, Jasmine Kane Edwards. Number 6, Kirsty Shearing. Number 8, Christina Souza. Number 9, Mariam Anvari. Number 10, Amanda Stevenson. Number 11, Molly May Ramsey. Number 13, Coco Parker. Number 15, Julia Budiongo. Number 18, Sienna Fogarty. And number 21, Kelsey Quinn. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with either of the two teams, with the home side in Bayside United playing in their distinctive orange and black kits, the visitors in Heidelberg United playing in their rather choice yellow, certainly nice and bright, and will be much easier to see in these dark and damp conditions here in the suburbs of Greater Melbourne. A referee today is Benjamin Lapilio, as he gets us off with Bayside having the honours via the boot of Budiongo. Of course, if you haven't been able to work it out already, Heidelberg, the visitors, will be shooting from left to right in this first half. Bayside, the home side, right to left. Heidelberg already trying to make the most of this early 5-10 minutes where both sides really need to try and make the mark in any fixture, be it league or cup. Not so bad ball in by Heidelberg, as we see the rather diminutive Vlahopoulos chase down a very lingering cross. But it's Bayside who presently had the advantage, trying to push forward after that strong attack. Indeed, they might make it. Will they? No, they won't. As the ball shanks a bit to the left of the goal, with the Bayside fans on both sides of the pitch here at Kingston Heath make some supportive noise, try and get around their team, who have certainly had a rather difficult campaign so far this year in the league, having yet to register a single victory in the MPLW, but they have managed to register 2 draws so far. And speaking of the league, it certainly wasn't too long ago that these two sides faced off against one another, with the visiting side in Heidelberg United eventually going on to being 5-2 victors over Bayside, which certainly gives us a little bit of an indication about what to expect tonight. So certainly bound to be at least a few goals here and there, with Bayside presently managing to concede an average of 5 goals a game, given their last 5 league matches. And Vari playing out wide into Parker. Parker not quite able to bring the ball in. But they will have the throw with Ramsey to have the honours. Ramsey not quite finding Budiongo, but it is Anvaro who eventually gets the ball, but Vlahoopoulos certainly denies Bayside making much more of an effort. Though they do more or less presently hold possession. There's a strong passing clearance by Joel, the New Zealander. Vlahoopoulos, she does manage to find her teammate in Papalea. So certainly a number of noticeable absences for this Heidelberg side this evening. Certainly giving clear indications that perhaps that John Clementi, the Heidelberg gaffer, is starting to rest a few of his girls tonight. Most certainly their regular captain, Stephanie Galea, starting this match on the bench for the time being. Ramsey, she finds her teammate with Parker, finding Budiongo. Budiongo back to Parker. Parker finds Ramsey, but Ramsey is called offside by the line on the far side of the pitch. Presently it stands 0-0 here at Kingston Heath. Now, not too sure just how much you can see at home in the darkness, but it is a very, very wet Kingston Heath pitch with Parker playing it centrally into Kane Edwards. Couldn't quite complete the pass, but Bayside are certainly trying to make the most of it once again, with Budiongo holding possession. Ramsey couldn't quite find Parker this time, though they certainly have been linking up quite well so far, even though it is still only early on, only 5 minutes played so far. But this is the Bayside coach, Luis Regis' first fixture in charge within within the Nike FC Cup. With Wires giving us quite a powerful throw. Sure, as you can see, Wires filling in for Galea in the captaincy duties for tonight so far. Heidelberg certainly can't quite get much further forward, though they are pressing at the moment. It's not exactly going their way. With Quinn, the Bayside keeper, playing it back out to her teammates, try and rebuild, try and get the rhythm going. Bit of a battle in the far edges of the midfield. But it is Bayside with the advantage, with Budiongo going for a run. What can she do with it? Who can she find? Ball's crossed in. In the end, all she'll find is the Heidelberg keeper. Though, if Bayside have their way, as it looks like they will for the time being, Mazels, the keeper for Heidelberg, will be back under pressure. As we're certainly about to see there, with Bruno having a shot. It is blocked by, looks like, Tiktikas of Heidelberg. I do believe we are about to see a corner here. Very much a strong opportunity for Bayside to get in there early, perhaps make it 1-0 in their advantage. Something that Lewis Spears would love to see from his side, given it is his first cup match in charge. And we'll see a second corner. Second in about 2 minutes. Perhaps Bayside can do a bit more with it than the last. The ball's brought nice and centrally. Can't quite find anyone that they would desire. But Bayside are still able to press with McClure finding Ramsey. Ramsey tries to get a put through and under the ball. Doesn't quite find the net, but it's very much on target. Good sign so far for Ramsey. Perhaps she can do a bit more of it with her next attack forward. For the time being, she will have the throw. Bit of aerial action there as Burrows breaks away for Heidelberg. But it doesn't last long, with the ball finding number 18, Sienna Fogarty of Bayside. But it is Heidelberg presently pressing fire-wise. Weiss has a crack. It's a bit wide, but it's very much Heidelberg's first, at least their best attempt so far. Their first real shot of the match, as far as I'm concerned. But it certainly won't challenge Kelsey Quinn if they keep shooting like that. The scoreline will remain 0-0 there at Kingston Heath. Certainly not the nicest conditions today, as we've very much struck winter here in Melbourne, much like as the ball struck Ramsey from Quinn. But as the Burgers on attack, Wise plays that wide. Can Heidelberg link up in the box? No, they won't, not for the time being. Certainly a rather physical deflection there by Budiongo, given Maisel's firm clearance to get the ball well away from her box. Heidelberg had the throw. Doesn't quite go anywhere. And so it is Bayside certainly set to have the advantage. And they will hit the throw Bayside United after what seemed like it could have been a few things, with the end ref's call would just bring the ball up a bit. Budiongo under heavy pressure. She brings it back. Bayside. Nope. No, they won't. Heidelberg with the counter-attack, and they've got pace. But do they have options in the box? Looks like they will. I believe it's Wise on the attack, but she couldn't quite keep hold of the ball. In the end, Quinn collects it rather comfortably. She won't be troubled for the time being, especially if Heidelberg continue to attack forwardly as they just have. It will remain 0-0 for the time being, with 12 minutes of play yet to present us with any real major excitement so far. But certainly that would be quite understandable given just how cold it is here at Kingston Heath. A decent attempt there by Tikikis. In the end, it comes to naught. Bayside getting the goal kick from that shot. Nonetheless, it is nice to see Heidelberg trying to take their chances, trying to get something out of this first half, because so far they've been a bit lacklustre from what you would expect, especially as they are presently the league leaders, having managed to gain 21 points from a possible 27. Heidelberg also, of course, as mentioned earlier, have a very firm record against Bayside. Recently going on to win 5-2 against Bayside only a fortnight ago. We have Ramsey to Anvari. Who can Anvari find? Can't quite find her teammates. It is Papalia who tries to bring it through. The ball does find Wise via the deflection, but Wise can't find her own teammates. As we see, Coco Parker, unfortunate to gain possession, unfortunate to gain the throw-in, right in front of our contrary position. And it will be Tigicus, the throw. Almost in the hand of captain for the evening, Danielle Wise. Burrows attempted ball into the box for Heidelberg. It's very much Heidelberg with all the pressure, with all the force at the moment. Perhaps they'll be the first to score. With Tigicus trying to push forward, as she does. Quinn, firm clearance, doesn't quite find her teammates. She's very much quickly back under pressure. But she's given very brief respites, with Heidelberg having their best and very much first proper shot on target. They have been not far off targets so far. Quinn does collect nice and firmly. Something she would want and need. As the ball is brought back into Mosels, the Burgers keeper. Parker couldn't quite keep hold of possession, with Burrows telling her what is what. Will be a goal kick ahead of us. What looks like might have been an opportunity for a corner for Heidelberg. Very few defensive options for Bayside at the moment. Just makes you wonder, where is everyone? Given that Heidelberg are a high pressuring side. Indeed, they like their shot away. Ooh! And they were very, very unfortunate there not to score. I do believe that was Vlahopoulos with the tipped shot that ricocheted off the crossbar. In the end, it will remain 0-0 here at Kingston Heath. I'm sure Kelsey Quinn and the remainder of the Bayside side would be quite happy with that. Burrows bring it into the box. Couldn't quite find Vlahopoulos. Quinn collects. Tries to bring the ball out wide. She will find Ramsey. Can Ramsey link up with Parker? No, she won't. But she will the throw. Ramsey's got a few options. And she goes to Parker, who is under heavy bit of pressure. Very much a 2-on-1 situation. She will the throw. Now, how much the Heidelberg defender in Maxine Dib-Larcy protests the referee's decision. Budiongo clips the ball up in the air. Can't quite find her more centrally placed teammates in Amanda Stevenson. We're now entering the 18th minute of play here at Kingston Heath. Still largely uneventful. There has been one or two surprises. Take a kiss with the throw. Looked a little bit soft for my taste. With a few shoves in the back there. It will be a throw. And a clear throw indeed. by the head of Fogarty. And Vari attempts to get in there. She's a bit late for a tackle. An aerial head push forward by Grace Trail of Heidelberg. And it doesn't quite work out for her side, but it was a good effort. Indeed, it seemed like Quinn was certainly under a fair amount of pressure. In the end, it floats away like a cloud. Budiongo. Kane Edwards. She's brought down. It won't be a card as of yet, but it's certainly not a good look there for Grace Trail. Certainly not the worst position in terms of a free kick to have for Bayside United, which will be number 18, Sienna Fogarty, to take the kick. She's got a few options in the centre, likes of Parker and Vari, Budiongo. Looks like she's going for Budiongo. Budiongo not quite on the same wavelength, and certainly not quite on the same pace either. In the end, it goes straight into the gloves of Mizels. But Fogarty, is there a link up to Parker? Can Parker do anything with it? No, she won't for the time being. But Bayside will have their corner. Well, the score is presently 0-0. With our second Nike FC Cup match for this evening in Bulling and Alamein only about 10 minutes away. Referee not quite too happy with the position of the ball for the corner, but it is brought in, goes nice and deep centrally. Couldn't quite find Parker there, but they were looking alright, Bayside. Indeed, they have been looking quite firm as they've been going forward. Not exactly giving too much for Mizels to worry about, but there has been certainly firm pressure from Bayside, and they continue to place that pressure upon the Bayside defence. Nice little battle in front of our contribution for you. And a nutmeg. Bayside do gain the throw in the depths of the near side corner. Very much feeling like Pingu's Dunny down here at Kingston Heath. It is highly bitter. And Vari managing just about to break away from the 3-on-2, 3-on-1. But Heidelberg, in the end, do have the most amount of pressure. And it looks like they shall have a corner here to be taken from the near side corner. The kick taker to be their number 22, Ellen Parbury. Parbury, not a bad ball, straight into the box. Heidelberg not quite able to really do anything with it. It doesn't mean that Bayside are home scot-free either. With Parbury, again, trying to place some of that pressure. Tries to link up with Riette Giorgio. And Bayside do get the breakaway, but they are caught in offside position. Nonetheless, Budiongo looked like she could have done something there, perhaps to make it 1-0. Of course, she can't really make it 1-0 make anything from it when you are very much firmly in the offside position. Will remain 0-0 for the time being, with Mizell's kicking it quite deep for Heidelberg. And the ball does return to her as she heads to kick it deep once again, as we have a bit of a steeplechase, as well as calls for offside, which are eventually granted. Heidelberg once again under the attack with Papalea bringing it forward into central position. She does find Wise. Wise having to bring it back out. With Burrows pushing out wide. In the end, her teammate can't quite keep her feet. They hold the advantage with Julia Bunyongo making great chase. She won't find her teammates, but she will find the gloves of Mizell's. 0-0 it shall remain. Certainly, that is one factor that this Heidelberg side does need to be cautious of. The pace of Julia Bunyongo. She will very much run circles around any of her opposition. And Vari. Ramsey. Parker. Can't quite find Envari. In the end, she does find Burrows of Heidelberg. Burrows plays it back into Felicity Georgopoulos. Georgopoulos bring it further back into Mizell's. Mizell's out into Tikicus. Who can Tikicus find? She finds Papalea. Papalea unable to really find a teammate, given the heavy pressure she was under. Parker to Bunyongo. Bunyongo back into Parker. Parker can't quite find Stevenson. Shearing's out of control for her Bayside side. With Ramsey now trying to push forward. But he's under heavy pressure. Back into Shearing. Bit of a cross. Bit of a pass, bit of a lob by Ramsey. Now their teammates were quite on the same wavelength. She was hoping to find Bunyongo in the box. Ramsey with the throw. Doesn't quite work out, as there's a bit of fight for possession here in the defence. Bayside heavily outnumbered as Giorgio pushes forward with pace. As she plays it out wide. Heidelberg still in an advantage position. A very, very dangerous decision there by Tina Fogarty. You really have to question just what was she thinking there. Playing it back to her goalkeeper. Well, she was in heavy pressure and inside the box. Really should have been 1-0 to Heidelberg. Bayside very fortunate to escape without a scratch there. Nice little contest here in the far corner as Burrows plays it in centrally. She can't quite find Wise, but Heidelberg do have possession still, with Vlahopoulos taken out. Though her diminutive size certainly works more towards in her favour. a very firm free kick position for Heidelberg. Can they make anything of it? We shall see in a shake of a lamb's tail. Referee blows his whistle as we wait the ball to be played back in. And it is. It hits the crossbar, but it won't hit the net. Second, very close call for Heidelberg. And as we very much had confirmed, once again, they can hit the crossbar, they just can't hit the net. But they can hit Quinn, as she's forced to react very rapidly. Ramsey on heavy pressure. And Vari can't quite find Shearing. Kane Edwards with a very promising pass into Stevenson. In the end, it's stuffed out, and Heidelberg will have to throw. As the ball is returned to the field. Kane Edwards into Shearing. Shearing in Fogarty. Fogarty back to Quinn. Quinn's forced to react. As the ball almost kills two spectators in the crowd. That's why you don't text at the football. Heidelberg with the throw. As Tigicus can't quite link up with Vlahopoulos. Just a reminder that it remains 0-0 here at Kingston Heath. And that the Bullying Aluminium fixture, our other 6th round tie tonight, should be kicking off shortly. You want to keep that open in a separate tab at home. Stevenson managing to break away. Can she link up with her teammate? No, she won't. But Pudiongo does gain the ball. But she won't gain the pitch position. Bayside shall have a throw though. Perhaps I can finally break through this Heidelberg back line, as they've been promising to do for the past half hour or so. So it will remain 0-0 if they carry on like that. Buyongo collects possession in a dangerous position, but she just can't keep hold of it. Something that Bayside has certainly struggled with throughout their team in maintaining possession in critical positions. In the end, Heidelberg have a chance to punish. Though a bit like Bayside, I just can't quite keep hold of the ball when they need it. As Tigicus has some semblance of a shot, but just couldn't quite hit it how she needed it, nor how she wanted it. Nice little battle there on the far side of the pitch for you. Certainly getting increasingly physical this Bayside Heidelberg tie. Certainly shows just how much a win tonight would mean for both sides. Of course, victory tonight will see either side be one of our 4 semi-final contenders. Very, very firm strike there by Danielle Wise, the Heidelberg captain, giving her team a first goal of the evening and the 1-0 advantage here in our 6th round cup tie. Scoreline is, of course, 1-0 in favour of the visitors as we enter about 10 minutes left of the first half. Indeed, it could be 2-0 if Bayside continue to play the way they are. With Heidelberg very much putting on most, if not all, the pressure at the moment. But Julie Brunungo is trying to change that for her Bayside side. And Vari collecting the ball in a very promising position. And she can't quite link up with any of her teammates. It will remain 1-0 in favour of Heidelberg. Bit of a soft throw there by Tiktikas, but it's play on, and a shot is on for Heidelberg once again, with Grace Gell attempting the strike. All dual fun gloves to Quinn, nonetheless it's a strong effort, certainly showing the mark of the tie of this match presently. It was Bulyongo fiercely fights for possession against De Blasi. Blasi bring it firmly to Wise. Wise into Papalia. Papalia has a shot. It's a bit too wide. I imagine the wind contributing to that shot there. It will remain 1-0 for the time being. And Heidelberg will have a free kick here. The battle between Anne Vari of Bayside and Burrows of Heidelberg going in favour of Burrows. Firm opportunity for Heidelberg to make it 2 before half time. A scoreline that perhaps wouldn't quite be totally reflective of the way the game has gone so far. And it's a bit flat and a bit too centred by Grace Gell. All she does is find Quinn. But Bayside really can't quite find the ball at the moment. This perhaps is very much Heidelberg with the advantage overall as they fight to enter the box, with Papalia leading the charge for Burgers. Well, they won't quite have a corner there. They will have a throw. And now, appears they will. Yes, they shall have a corner. With Ellen Parbury once again lining up for Heidelberg. If she can bring a ball in like she did earlier, certainly would be quite the opportunity for Heidelberg to double their advantage. Parbury brings us back into play. Doesn't quite manage to find one of her teammates. Heidelberg do still have possession. And they will have, yes, another corner. This time on the far side of the pitch. About 6 minutes left to play here at Kingston Heath. Firm ball into the box. Is cleared by Christina Souza for a second corner from that far side position. Score remains Bayside 0, Heidelberg 1. The second corner certainly challenging Quinn and her nets, but in the end it does scrape across the pitch and out of harm as far as Bayside will be concerned, with Quinn gaining the goal kick. Once again, we are greeted by a very firm breeze at Kingston Heath. It is exceedingly bitter this evening. It's certainly not my bitter of choice. Again, Heidelberg pushing forward with numbers as well. What can they make of it? Not much it seems, with Jail bringing it back in centrally. A shot is attempted by Vlahopoulos. Once again, she doesn't quite hit it how she would need it. It will remain 1-0 in favour of Heidelberg for the time being. Whether it will be 2 before half time, we'll have to obviously, of course, wait and see. But given the present momentum, it seems like they've got a greater chance of it being 2 before half time, as opposed to keeping it at 1-0. Bayside certainly won't make any difference there, as they are once again snuffed out with Heidelberg on a very rapid counter, which could have been 2-0, and it will be a corner. And we finally have the corner brought in from the far side of the pitch. It's quite central. In the end, Wise can't quite hit it how she wants it. Though through an apparent deflection, seems like we shall have another corner. Quite a firm ball there. Again, Heidelberg somehow managed not to score. This time is Wise who volleys it into the crossbar. It shall remain 1-0 though. It's certainly amazing to think what could be had Heidelberg managed to get all three of their crossbar challenges on the third side of the goal line. It shall remain 1-0 for the time being. Corner played into the box. In the end, all we'll find is the gloves of Quinn. Brief score update from our other cup match. It is presently Bulleen 0, Alamein 0. Certainly seems like we'll be going into half time here with the 1-0 scoreline, with both sides while battling more on the midfield position. They can't really gain advantage one way or another. Was in a firm position for Heidelberg, could have broken through. In the end, she's held back by neither player of Bayside. Certainly, we won't see a second goal here at Kingston Heath for half time. Try as Heidelberg and might. Well, certainly cannot be too much longer here down at Kingston Heath. And indeed, we only had half a second with our referee this evening, Ben Lepilio, calling for half time. Scoreline remains Bayside 0, Heidelberg 1, thanks to a goal from Danielle Wise, their captain for this evening. I've been William Bennett and we'll be back with all the second half action from this 6th round Nike FC Cup tie in not too far away. both my hands consistently. Oh, takes my fucking lover. Oh. See ya. Alright, knock yourself out. Fucking football. Not too bad, thank you. Yourself? Who's that one? Welcome back here to Kingston Heath for the second half action of this 6th round Nike FC Cup tie between Bayside United and Heidelberg United. I am William Bennett, your host for this evening. For those who missed the first half action, the present scoreline is Bayside 0, Heidelberg 1. Bayside, the home side, in their distinctive orange and black kicks, kicking from left to right through this half. Heidelberg, the visitors, in their very choice yellow kits, will be kicking from right to left. Of course, this is not the only fixture going on this evening for the 6th round of the Nike FC Cup, with Bulleen versus Alamein also present on the way. It should be half time up at the Veneto Club, more or less now, as we get back underway for the second half. And it looks like we're about to get some action here. I swear, these goalkeepers, will they ever not think of the commentary position? Just trying to do our jobs, not trying to get killed. Anyway, we see Quinn of Bayside make a much more acceptable clearance as far as we're concerned here in our commentary position. One that does not disturb us physically or psychologically. Heidelberg largely controlling the flow of the play so far in this half. So about 55-45 in Berger's favour. the Bayside are keen to very much make an impact upon this half and upon this game. Indeed, they were rather unfortunate in the first half not to really make anything of it. Likewise, Heidelberg were very unfortunate not to score thrice, given 3 balls rebounding very firmly off the crossbar. Nice firm battle in the midfield for you. Perhaps a bit too firm as far as looks like Kane Edwards is concerned, as she's down with an injury more or less on the halfway line. Surely someone should get rid of the ball and do the responsible thing, but she's back up with a slight limp. And Valerie presently in possession. Hits the switch. She does find Coco Parker. Parker was very much a key player for Bayside in the first half. Couldn't quite make an impact up on the sheets, but she was looking very firm as she went forward throughout the first half. Heidelberg's Ellen Parbury, who is back in play by a throw. Parbury also looked quite firm for Heidelberg in terms of their offensive efforts, giving her balls from the corners. Very much a keen set-piece player is Parbury. Not a bad ball in for Heidelberg. And it's not a bad ball given A, the distance, B, that was supposed to be a cross, not a goal. It is 2-0 for the Burgers. Not entirely certain just who scored that, but we will give you a bit of a guesstimate as soon as we can. It is 2-0 in favour of the visitors. As we check the replays for yourselves. It looks like it was their captain in Danielle Wise, the goal scorer, in the first half as well. So she has, in fact, doubled her money here at Kingston Heath. Congratulations, Danielle. That was very much on par for a Push Cash award. So if you are hearing this upon watching the replay, do stand up, do take a bow, because that was absolutely fantastic. And despite the firm vocalisations from his bench, the Heidelberg gaffer in Johnny Clante certainly is keen for more, keen for a third. And given that Heidelberg had been unlucky not to get 3 goals from striking the crossbar, well, perhaps they will properly, finally get a third in the second half, as they've scored far earlier than they have in the first half comparatively. For the time being, we will see a bit of a midfield battle as Bayside take the push forward, but Anvari is unable to break down the Heidelberg midfield. But Coco Parker will. But it's not Parker. It is Shearing who breaks down the Heidelberg midfield as Parker swings the ball in for a tip across into Budiongo. Unfortunately, just goes a bit too wide, wrong side of the goals as far as Parker's concerned. In the end, it does peter out for a goal kick for Melissa Maisels. As we wait a ball, as our previous has gone for a little bit of a stroll. Bit of a poor ball by Maisels, given her previous stance. But Bayside do still the advantage. Actually, regain possession. Which they do, with calls from the sidelines from the Bayside fans questioning where exactly was the advantage. So we have a brief score update from our other fixture in Bulleen versus Alamein. Scoreline is presently Bulleen 0, Alamein 0. Certainly extremely bitter conditions here at Kingston Heath as Giorgio attempts to push forward for Heidelberg. Perhaps get a third. Budiongo collects from the long ball. She plays it into Anvari. Anvari looking for an option. She just about to find Shearing. Shearing finds Budiongo, but she's very much collected by the Heidelberg defender. Certainly a hallmark of just how uncertain Heidelberg are at the moment. Certainly quite a few worries from this Berger side, despite having a 2-goal lead. And indeed, a firm advantage in the league as well. I wouldn't be too concerned given the way they've played so far. And the fact they are quite likely to end up getting the results come the end of the 90 minutes. There you go. Danielle Wise looks to score. She won't for the time being. It will remain 2-0. But Heidelberg are very much keen to push forward and really punish this Bayside side. A team that is quite often, indeed, in their last 5 league matches, have averaged 5 goals put firmly in the back of their nets. But certainly, keeping that in mind, you can see why Heidelberg is so keen to try and make it a third, as we see our first substitution for this evening. Coming off the pitch will be number 25, Mia Giorgio. Coming onto the pitch will be number 9, Keely Lockhart of Heidelberg. Jail passing it into the substitute of Lockhart. Lockhart into Parbury. Back into Lockhart. Who can Lockhart find? Is it fine for Vlahopoulos? Lockhart back in central position. There's a few calls of ref from the Heidelberg fans. Not going to go anywhere, mind you. Daniel Wise has a shot on, but it is called offside. Indeed, it was very firmly offside. I'm sure even the Heidelberg faithful would agree that it was the correct call from the lino. But of course, football is extremely passing by nature. And Vari looking to find Budiongo. Budiongo's got the pace, but she doesn't acquire the positioning. But she's still putting Heidelberg on heavy pressure. In the end, Heidelberg is safe for the time being. But there will be a throw for Bayside in a very advanced position. It will be taken by Christina Souza. Souza unable to find Budiongo. Place she really needed to find. With Fogarty sending it skywards. Souza sends it centrally. All she finds is De Blasi of Heidelberg. Heidelberg on the firm counter. Will it be 3-0? Yes, it is. The goal scorer will just try to confirm to you as soon as we can. It is a bit difficult to say given the distance here at Kingston Heath. Geography is not our friend here. But it is 3-0 in favour of the visitors. 3 very firm, well-taken goals by Heidelberg. And despite the scoreline, there remains calls of firm support by the Bayside fans, something that you love to see. I say something that Bayside needs to see, because there's very much no football clubs without the community behind them. And tonight is very much one of those games that Bayside need their community behind them. But Heidelberg certainly won't make it 4-0 like that, as Lockhart, the yellow substitute, sends it sky high. Bayside looking to break away via Souza. Can Souza be the prayers for Bayside as they attempt to push forward, try and get their first goal of the match? Bayside looking to push forward. They can't quite link up with Budiongo. It very much seems like their best, if not only hope at the moment. Heidelberg trying to make it 4 as they put Quinn under heavy pressure, and they do succeed in making it 4-0. as this time their goal scorer just do bear with us a moment as we wait for the players to turn around, as we do very much have to rely on whatever their shirts say, unfortunately, which doesn't help our case, but it is the substituting Kelly Lockhart who makes it 4-0 for Heidelberg. We're still attempting to confirm the third goal for you. Indeed, it looks like it could have been Lockhart, but unfortunately the camera angle is just not too friendly for us, as Lockhart looks to go forward again. She finds Wise. Can Wise find the goals? No, she can't. All she finds is Loves of Quinn. It shall remain 4-0 here. It also remains 0-0 at Bulleen. So with two Heidelberg players on set for a hat-trick, with Wise having a shot on, it does go out for a corner. The question certainly now turning John Commander's side is not so much a matter of will they make it 5, but who will be first to make their hat-trick? As both players have been very, very influential in their forward momentum. Speaking of forward momentum, we have Molly Ramsey of Bayside. She plays it into Shearing, back into Ramsey. Ramsey looking for options. She got Booty Younger essentially. She got, well, looks like Parker as well. Doesn't quite find Booty Younger. The ball is brought out for a throw-in in a very firmly advanced position. Bayside truly need to make something of this if they want to get anything out of tonight's proceedings. In a match that's becoming ever increasingly desperate as the seconds tick by. Heidelberg continue to attempt to advance forward, but Vlahopoulos can't quite find her teammate in Lockhart. Wise, the Heidelberg captain, really trying to push her side forward, trying to push themselves further forward in terms of morale. And morale, they're certainly not lacking at the moment, as Lockhart finds Gale. But Gale can't quite hold position. Much like our Budiongo can't quite link up with Parker. With Heidelberg continue to advance forward. Wise plays it further forward into Papalia. A bit too advanced for Heidelberg, however. Goes up for a throw, as you'll see, Bayside's first substitution for the evening. And it's set to be a double substitution. But we'll have to wait a moment or two longer. And here comes the substitution as we look forward to the numbers. We'll see number 30, Alice Gilbert, and I believe number 26, Ellen Gaudry, coming on. They are replacing number 11, Molly Mae Ramsey, and number 13, Coco Parker. Bayside remain back under heavy pressure, with Wise collecting the ball in a very, very dangerous position. The shot is taken, but it does go wide. It will remain 4-0 here at Kingston Heath for the time being. Very much a very physically frozen Kingston Heath, as players spectator alike freeze their brass monkeys. Don't be surprised if a few of us end up going home with icicles on it from our noses, as Bayside are called offside in the most advanced position they've had for quite some time. But it does very much feel like we're standing around in Pingu's Dunny for the time being. It is exceptionally cold here at Kingston Heath. To do spare a thought for our cameraman, and of course your commentator, as we're forced to leave our hands exposed to these rather arctic conditions, as Heidelberg attempt to advance further forward. The ball does find Wise, just finds a ponytail, which isn't quite enough of Wise to gain possession, and is brought out, aided in part by Papalia. But Heidelberg drew the throw. As a rather deep cross into the Lockhart. Velopoulos. She finds the boot of Parbury. Parbury having a fair old crack at goals. She just about hits the crossbar as the ball goes over, not below. Their first crossbar strike that didn't go below the goal. It will remain 4-0. Heidelberg firmly pushing against Bayside. This time it's Bayside's turn to push against Heidelberg with Booty on go. Looking centrally. Looking she'll find Stevenson. Can Stevenson find the goal? No, but she does have a shot on target. And now Bayside are left to chase as Heidelberg push forward. Courtesy of Lockhart. Cross into the central position for Heidelberg. It comes similar to naught, but looks like they will have a corner. As we see, another substitution for Bayside coming off the pitch is number 9, Mariam Envari. She's replaced by her teammate number 22, Alison Baker. A very close call there for Heidelberg. Close in the sense that they could have, perhaps should have made it 5 there. In the end, the ball will go over, out for a goal kick. But it's Bayside in a world of hurt at the moment, and they just can't quite advance. They certainly, Heidelberg can't quite get a shot on target at the moment either. So perhaps it will even out for the time being. Some Bayside attempts to push forward. And they're aided by a throw. Can't quite get the booty on go. But unless they do press forward, it would help if they can link up a bit in the advanced position. As it's very much between Gilbert and Baker, we're trying to advance the Bayside line in the third forward. Creeping inch by inch where they can. And then it is cleared. Heidelberg won't be able to do anything with it unless they can very quickly and easily put Bayside under heavy strain, given how both teams are structured in the midfield. Bayside remaining very advanced. Still more concerned of just getting a consolation out of tonight as opposed to trying to present deficit from magnifying ever greater. Certainly a decent turnout here tonight for the 6th round Nike FC Cup clash. There's a good few dozen in the far side terrace, with a couple dozen or so more in the club rooms behind us. Certainly a decent turnout given Bayside's regular home attendance. Heidelberg seemingly getting ready for their second substitution of the evening. As we see the fourth official getting ready to confirm who is who. It looks like it will be the double goal scorer and captain of the evening, Teddy Wise, coming off. Looks like she'll be replaced by number 29, Katrina McDonald. But we'll confirm that once it occurs. Bayside have throw in an advanced position with Heidelberg just about ready to make that substitute. Whether or not it will happen now is yet to be seen. It'll be a free kick for Bayside. As ball's brought into an advanced position, it finds Budiongo. Budiongo can't quite get a boot underneath it and behind it. In the end, it goes comfortably into the gloves of Maisons. Now it's Heidelberg's turn to advance forward. They won't quite challenge Kelsey Quinn, the Bayside keeper. But they certainly are coming forward with numbers whenever they do come forward. Certainly a big advantage in comparison to Bayside, who I imagine being maybe 2, 3, 4 at most. Heidelberg, you're at least getting 6 players going forward into that advanced position. as we still await that substitution to occur. Despite the referee having a few opportunities, certainly they are waiting for the player to come off Daniel Wise to do something. I would imagine gain her hat-trick for the next substitute. Though if that was Jonathan Clemente's main concern, then surely you would keep the player on. She's clearly not injured. And we do indeed finally see that long-awaited, perhaps long overdue substitution as far as the substitute is concerned. And coming off the pitch is indeed number 4, Danielle Wise, a double goal scorer for Heidelberg United, as she is replaced by number 29, Katrina McDonald. Heidelberg continuing to press them forward. This time Lockhart can't break through, but her Heidelberg side will have a corner. As we wait the ball of Parbury. She plays it short. Heidelberg still have numbers forward. In the end, it is collected by Quinn. And now it's Bayside's turn to try and advance ever forward as the ball finds Amanda Stevenson. Stevenson looking for an option. Won't find anyone for the time being as we enter more or less the last 10 minutes of regulation time here at Kingston Heath. As we wait a ball to be sent up to Marzells, the Heidelberg goalkeeper. Well, certainly not too much more in the way of opportunity for Heidelberg. The question shall stand for the time being of can they make it 5-0 here at Kingston Heath? Certainly it's something almost of an expectation, given that Bayside have managed to concede an average of 5 goals per game in their last 5 fixtures. Indeed, last time they played each other, these two sides, Heidelberg did manage to score 5 times against Bayside. As Bayside have another substitution. This time coming off the pitch is number 2, Neve McClure, and she was replaced by number 16, Mila Yachts. Heidelberg getting a free kick in a generally advanced position. Still more or less on the edge of the midfield. But it is a firm opportunity for them to make it 5 here at Kingston Heath. As the ball is brought in firmly and centrally. Heidelberg still in possession in a very dangerous area. Can they link it up? Not quite. As Bayside just managed to deflect it and deflect it again. They are very much still under pressure, as Barrish demonstrates as she brings it out. Ooh! And that could have been, perhaps should have been 5 for just there. As Vlahopoulos attempts the header. Bayside certainly not being allowed too much room of respite, as Heidelberg still trying to ramp up the pressure, try and make it 5. Certainly John Clemente's side is relentless when given the opportunities, hence why they're certainly and firmly first in the league. As we see another substitution, this time for Heidelberg United. It looks like it is number... We'll see a double substitution. The same we can very much confirm far easily for you. Coming off the pitch will be number 1, Melissa Myself. She will be replaced by number 20, Natasha Statopoulos. As to the first double substitutions, we'll try to confirm for you as soon as possible. It's a bit difficult when we certainly can't quite see the numbers perfectly by the fourth official from the other side of the field. It did seem like it was number 19, Dina Kotsabas, who came on for Heidelberg. Heidelberg continuing to advance, but certainly held back for now, with Bayside gaining a bit of yardage by throw after throw. It's very much critical that if they want to get anything out of tonight's match, they've got to score now. Now, certainly rather unfortunate in the first half not to score, given how well they went forward as they advanced. Indeed, in many ways, this 4-0 scoreline is a bit unfair towards Bayside, but it's not like they certainly have given themselves any favours in the second half. Something that has allowed the Heidelberg side to very much take advantage of and really punish this Bayside side who have struggled in the league. Lockhart looking for a central option. She doesn't quite find the boot of Parbury. Nonetheless, it will be out for a Heidelberg throw. As Heidelberg are forced a bit slightly further back in order to regroup. A little bit of skillful footwork does gain them the throw. Both sides very firmly battling for possession here in the midfield. The other side truly breaking one way or another. Though it is Bayside who are forced to come further back. Now Heidelberg certainly had the opportunity to push it ever forward. Something that Lockhart could have done. She was perhaps a bit more positionally aware. And again, Heidelberg looked to charge forward. Of course, penalty from the Heidelberg fans. I certainly couldn't see anything in it. Nor could the ref. Nor could the lino. Again, very much pointing to the firm partisan ship of this fixture. There has been very little in the way of aggression or indeed ill will by either fan base. Will be Heidelberg tap the corner. We have about 5 minutes left of regulation time here at Kingston Heath. As Heidelberg somehow managed not to make it 5-0. They will continue to push with Lockhart looking for a goal, and she will find a goal. It is now 5-0 here at Kingston Heath. An apparent hat-trick from the substitute, as far as we've been able to tell. Nonetheless, it's been a spectacular second half performance by Keely Lockhart of Heidelberg United. As we finally have our first chance of the evening, coming from the Heidelberg supporters, which of course begs the question, if you're willing to sing while your team's 5-0 up, why not sing when it's still 0-0, or indeed while you're only 1-0 up, as Budiongo looks to try and link up in the box for Bayside. The most advanced position Bayside have had for some time. Did a good 10 minutes minimum, by my reckoning. The my clock isn't certainly not the most accurate, not by any atomic standards. As we enter the final 2 minutes of regulation time, I reckon we'll see at least 5 minutes here, given the 4 goals from this half. There's a few other minor disruptions. As we see, a bit of anger by Christina Souza, who's certainly frustrated given the way her team's performed, which is understandable. And they certainly should have done far better Bayside. Again, Bayside have to throw as they look to continue to advance ever forward. This time looking for Lockhart. Lockhart is held back by Fogarty. As Jenicott Sarbus, one of the substitutes for Heidelberg, is brought down the box. And Bayside do see yellow. The only side so far this match to see a booking. Not entirely certain who received the booking there. But Heidelberg will not receive a penalty, despite some hopes from their fan base. It will be a free kick from only a couple of feet from outside the box. Indeed, it's barely a yard out from the box, its final edge. As the ball struck in, it curls nicely, but it does go over. It will not be 6-0. It will remain 5 here as we enter the end of regulation time. And in short embers of this 6-round tie, our referee Ben Lepaleo will grant us this evening as Heidelberg continue to push as they look forward for a 6th. Bayside still keen to deny them a 6th, as Budiongo is presently holding possession and looking to advance Bayside ever further as Souza gains possession of the ball. Souza, she finds Stevenson. Stevenson looking for a more central option. She won't quite find a central option, but Bayside drew out the ball and they do somehow manage to scrape through a very jammy goal, but a goal nonetheless. The scoreline will be 5-1 here at Kingston Heath. The goal scorer being number 15, Julia Budiongo. Someone who certainly should have scored a number of times throughout this evening, has finally been able to advance far enough to get the ball in the back of the Burgers' net. It will stand 5-1 as the Bayside faithful gain a mere consolation prize from tonight's proceedings. As we see the last embers of this fixture, with Lockhart attempting to make it 6, which she won't do like that. With Quinn very much cool, calm, and collected. There she's cool as a cucumber. But mind you, given our present conditions tonight, so I'd say everyone is physically cool as a cucumber. Bayside looking to gain their second from tonight. They won't quite do it for the moment. As we have our first score update for quite some time from the other fixture between Bulleen and Alamein. Bulleen are presently up 1-0 over Alamein, up at the Veneto Club. At this stage, it looks like it will be Bulleen alongside Heidelberg to join Calder United in the semi-finals. Of course, our final fourth fixture in the 6th round of the Nike FC Cup is on tomorrow night between South Melbourne and Caroline Springs George Cross, formerly a Sunshine, as the referee Ben Leopilla announces the end of this tie after what was very much 5 minutes called by yours truly. Our final score tonight here at Kingston Heath is Heidelberg United 5, Bayside United 1. We hope you enjoyed all the action here from the 6th round of the Nike FC Cup. And until next time, I've been William Bennett. Cheerio. Make some things up. Yeah. Be nice to get out of the cold.